What are signs that it's time to hire your first salesperson? It's kind of like
Right.
begs the question, when do I do this?
Yeah, I'm not a software engineer, but like I like to use technical metaphors with technical audiences because I think it's like helpful. And so it's kind of like when it runs on your local, right? Now it's time to like see if it reproduces over here, right? So if it reliably runs on your local and it doesn't like error out, right? And so then what would the definition of like not erroring out look like? And so generally speaking, it's like it kind of is contingent on your sales motion, but it's going to be like, you know, that you can reliably at a pretty okay win rate. So like maybe 15% or 20% or 25% turn first meetings into eventual customers, right? And like do that in a reliable fashion. It's not like, I engaged 10 arm's length parties and I got 2 customers closed. It's like, hey, that's great. Good. That's a good start. Do that 5x that, 10x that, right? So, take 50 at bats, take 100 at bats. And now that you know that you reliably for every cohort of 10 first meetings, like what's known in sales land as opportunities, for every cohort of 10 that you engage, are you closing 1? Are you closing 1.5? Are you closing 2? Are you closing 2.5? If you're in there, but if you're at like, for every 30 I interact with, I close 1. Well, it seems like that's probably like pretty inefficient unless, you're selling $500,000 deals or something like that. So it's at the point where you have it feels like it's statistically significant. It feels like it's repeatable, because what you're going to then do is like, now it feels like it's a safe bet to try to abstract that out to somebody else. Because the only way we're going to get to success is like, we're not going to have Lenny go and like sell from morning, noon to night, right? What we're going to do is we're going to take the information out of Lenny's brain and we're going to put it into slides and we're going to put it into scripts and we're going to put it into email templates and all that sort of stuff. And then we're going to shove that into the brain of 2 more reps and see if we can get it to like run in the cloud, right? In the sales cloud here. And then to start out, like it may fail. Like the same way you're like, all right, cool. Like it runs on my local. Uh-oh, it breaks over here. Okay, why? Right. And then that's like the next stage is now you're figuring out how to get those other folks to sell as successfully as you have. And that becomes like the next job. And this is the presentation I gave at Brienne's SaaS school. If you Google it, it's just called like founder-led selling. It's like available online. It's essentially, there's like a bunch of stages in the B2B maturity journey. And like, you have to go through them in order to get to the next one. If you jump stages, like you're kind of hosed. And so in this case, like if you know that you can reliably sell this yourself, that's great. Then the next thing to do is get, at least a couple people reliably selling as well as you, not 10, because you're never going to get 2 successful if you're trying to onboard 10 concurrently. And then if you get those 2 successful, now you've earned the right to go to 4, 8, et cetera.
I love this heuristic that you shared, that you want to get to about 15 to 25% of contacts closing to a customer. Yeah, I see you shaking your thumb. I think that's really useful. So it's like a third, a bit less than a third, and doing like 50 to 100 attempts is roughly where you want to be.
Yeah, and importantly, what you don't want to do is, and I think probably a lot of the product managers who like to listen to Lenny's podcast here might appreciate this, is like you want to bring on like cohorts of users and to kind of like see what's going on, then learn, and then bring on new cohorts of users, right? So going and like doing 100 at bats and then being like, okay, did it work or not? Versus like, hey, let's have 10 for like prospect and try to get 10 first meetings. Have all those interactions, see how your conversations land, see how the discovery questions are evoking the right response or not the right response, see how your slides land, see how your demo lands, all that sort of stuff. If it's working well and you're getting to the next stage, yeah, this is great. I would love to introduce you to my boss. That's a good sign. It's like, yeah, I'm just not getting it. All right, cool. Back to the drawing board, right? Versus doing like 100 all at once and then like, all right, now did it work? Right? We want to like break it up and then like constantly just be iterating. And